some searching for this one, and I could not be more pleased with what I found. So let's see what's on the inside of this deck, as it looks like it is a bit different than most. So let's open it up and see what we'll be working with. 54 classic photos of the greatest with his most memorable quotes. When you could whip any man in the world, you never know peace. Alright, let's take a quick glance at these cards and see what we'll be managing. So, if you're curious about his fight records, here it is. Pretty cool if you ask me, going through a little bit of history of Muhammad Ali. And just kind of what you'd expect. Lots of greatness. I'm excited, so let's just get into it, as there's only one Joker, it would appear. Makes sense. And look at that back. Alright, let's begin our night of cards. So how many of you are into, or how many of you know Muhammad Ali? I'm pretty sure he grew up in Kentucky, if I'm not mistaken. And the reason why he became a boxer was that somebody stole his brand new bike, and he went down to look for it, and then he stumbled upon a boxing gym, and the owner of that boxing gym, or one of the coaches, was a police officer. He tried to get their attention and explain the situation, but this was pre-1960s America, so lots of segregation and all of that stuff going on. But the police officer gave him some time and tried to encourage him to project his anger into a boxing ring, since Ali initially wanted to fight whoever had stolen his bike. I'm pretty sure that's how it went. This is actually kind of funny looking. Anyway, let's begin our night. Let's begin. So, I'm actually kind of distracted with the cards, but you get how it goes. 9. Another 9. I believe we have an 8. And a 4. Alright, let's begin our deal. So, let me get into how I began to know of Muhammad Ali. So, as a kid, I would always hear his name, see occasional boxing highlights on TV of him, Mike Tyson, and that group or era of boxers. And I always thought it looked pretty cool, but I knew that he had Alzheimer's and had brain issues, as many boxers do. So, for those of you who don't know, I consider myself to be a fairly competitive person, but I knew better than to mess with your head or your melon, so I never really humored the thought of exploring or learning the history, or some of the history of boxing. Let's see. Nope. Oh, wait a second. There we go. And let's continue. So all of my knowledge, for the most part, about Muhammad Ali was seeing him throw out a first pitch at an Astros game. Him being a civil rights advocate for the most part, or equality, that type of stuff. The brain issues, and kind of being a larger-than-life figure. Just kind of those household names that you hear about. Pretty much everyone would know. So, that was about it. And I would like to say, in high school, I really wanted to get to learn and explore boxing a bit more for many reasons. But again, I told myself, don't get yourself too into it because you don't want anything bad to happen. So I restrained once again and waited to learn more about the sport. Then some time goes by. There's our king finally gets a chance to be placed down. And I finally decided to let myself indulge in boxing. And I thought, what better place to start than with Muhammad Ali, as we get ourselves our first fat stack of the night. And we are still going strong, hopefully all night long. So as I began to learn a bit more about Muhammad Ali, I noticed parallels in not only ideology, but in practice of how he would compose himself as a person. And I found it very easy to relate to him on many aspects, but I think with the most popular, famous, influential people, it's easy to do that. But I'm not saying I'm different in any way, but usually when I try to understand somebody, I try to understand as much as possible how they are under the camera as we get ourselves our second fat stack of the night. How they are as people in their privacy of their own home, their family. Because everyone has multiple characters or personalities to an extent. And this man was no different. So just learning and going down that rabbit hole, it was a very fun journey. And I could see myself at a younger age being influenced by him to then pursue at least practicing boxing with some friends. And kind of a good thing I didn't, because like him, I am very unorthodox with how I move in certain aspects, as it looks like we just won our first game of the night. How awesome is that? Our first game of the night. Pretty much, we started off with a tough little fight. Anyway, where was I? I've been told I look like a few people in my life that were relatively famous. Some baseball players, some people I don't know too well, and I got him a little bit. And the more I would just kind of practice and punch on the punching bag and just do regular things, my girlfriend would notice too. How I'm proportioned like him as well and kind of have a similar, just overall look to clubs, ace to king, the hearts, and the diamonds. Let's do our victory shuffle. The Ali shuffle. Alright, let's see how we did. A little chunky. This is a plastic deck, so it's hard to get good control, but not too bad. Alright, let's just get ready for our second game. Anyway, I found it easy to connect and understand his perspective through life and how they would change from being a younger man with more hate in the heart, and then maturing and realizing people are of their own nature, and the best thing you could do is just say how you view the world and stand strong by your beliefs, but be open-minded to change. Just a lot of things along those lines. But what really a lot of things resonated with me, but what made it easier to just step into that framework was one, being super competitive and having a ridiculous work ethic to an extent, and also racism. And if you didn't know, I don't look black. Most of us are black to a degree, but my racism was always a little bit different, since most people don't or didn't know what I was, but I did experience quite a bit of it. And over time, I saw how it would affect my life, change certain things, made certain objectives or goals a little more difficult, and just create unnecessary roadblocks. And how there's hate and resentment there, but then learning to just let it go and just grow to show, to be your own person, and just have your own moral grounds and not stray from whatever they may be. So that was a point to connect for me there. As we just keep rolling on with our plays. And for those of you a little more familiar with this man, you could probably tell I do speak quite a bit in rhyme from time to time. I don't try to chime. Okay, I'm gonna stop there, but you could just, it's fun. I would like to, alright, that is it, and we are good to go. I just want to inform myself to kind of what he read and understood, to see where he developed his ideas and mindset, and see how I interpret it. Oh no, just a very interesting person that's not just a boxer. And if you don't know much about him, I would throw on probably a 10-minute video about the life of Muhammad Ali, and just see if you're interested to learn more. Because there's a lot to be said about someone who doesn't give up when there's ever reason to do so. Actually, I just thought of a question for you. Who is someone that you can connect to that most, or some people might think that is a bit unusual? This I can easily connect to just in that picture. Oh, there we go. I was thinking we probably have a plate waiting for us. We just need to open our eyes and realize. Okay, I think as good as this was, we thought might finally be done. So let's do a thorough check. 2, 3. Do we have a 5? Nope, it is. Oh, wait a second. 5, 4, 3, 5, 6. We cannot move that 6. Yet, anyway. Dang, we're not gonna have a chance to move this for a while. Alright, we continue. A 4, an 8. Nine, queen, and a 7. Oh, we can't play that 7. That's surprising. A 6, 6, 7. Alright, now is our final chance. What a long second and first game. Okay. 7. So we're stuck with a 7 and we're stuck with a king. Put down that 7 and move that 6. We can move this king and also this jack. We must move this 10 to have a chance to fight another play. Please show us a 2 of clubs. A jack of clubs. And I think with that, we just lost. But might as well move the 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. And see if there's anything that we could build on. As the diamonds and clubs. So spades and hearts. 5 of hearts occupied by 4 of clubs. And the 7 of spades over there. So a very good game. But we move on to the third. What a fight. Alright, let's see which cards were left unturned in our second game. There's one jack. There they are, double red jacks, double queens. And there we go. Makes sense. I'm gonna have so much fun just reading these quotes after the fact. I think the most popular Ali quote is float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. And it probably went, I have the quickest hands that ain't anybody ever seen. You step in the ring with me, you'll have to the count of 3. Then you will see that I am the great Muhammad Ali, something like that. I know it's nothing to that, but I can see him or hear him saying that. Can't you? The way I like how he talks is his rhythm and cadence. That's always fun to do. Can't really whisper that. Alright, game 3. We have ourselves a long one tonight. Alright, another tough start, double 4s already. those of you who've heard of Muhammad Ali, where are you from? If you're in the United States, which state? But if you're from a different country, which country? Because this man, I think, was considered to be one of the most recognizable faces around the world. So curious to see if that's still the case. And here we go. Again with the tens. Alright, I think we're done with this one. Yep. Surprisingly, a fairly quick game. And let's do our double check. So no plays left on the field. Nowhere for that jack. Nowhere for that queen. Nowhere for that king. Nowhere for that jack. Nowhere for that 10. This next 10. And lastly, this 2. So we move on to our fourth game of the night, and I will be silent for this one. But first, let's see which cards were left unturned under the Great One. Actually curious to see what we have here. Double queens. Double fours. Double eights. Triple queens, killer queens. Double fives, make that triple fives. And double aces. Alright, talk to you later. inside our night. Let's see if we can better our record. And one more shuffle just for good measure. There we go. Now on with the show. "25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, I was gonna say, we've had pretty rough starts, but no matter how it begins, we always put up a good fight all the way till the end. And we are already continuing that trend. And again, triple fives on the field, as well as double sevens. Another triple sevens and triple fives. Get rid of one of those fives, but still the triple sevens. What a mess we're gonna have to work around. But you know, we're not giving up until it's over. There we go. That will help. And a queen with nowhere to go. Okay, let's see how this next round goes. Ace. Might as well put down that 2, 3, 3. Ooh, a tough one. I don't know if we're gonna make it around this next one. Here we go. Nowhere for that king. Somewhere for that 2. Nowhere for that king, and nowhere for that 9. But now comes our final chance. As there's nowhere for that king, nowhere for that 10, and lastly, nowhere for that 9. All we could do is add to that 3. Nothing else left on the field, and that's it with the deck of Muhammad Ali. So it was a fun one. Let me know what you thought of the deck. I enjoyed it. I could see how this could be a little off-putting, but I think about it more in a funny way. Let's see which cards kept us from making another play. As we have nothing special yet. Okay, double 8s, double 6s, And that's it. So surprisingly, a fairly spread hand. And that is it for tonight, my friend. Let's put away these cards back in their deck. And just so you know, I got these off of eBay for I think $15 from Lithuania. And I think now they're worth $20, so if you're interested, that's where I got it. Just type in Muhammad Ali playing cards and let me know if you do. Sorry, I just remembered that right now. I would have said that earlier if I would have remembered, but that's it. Please have yourself a relaxing remainder of your night. Many sweet dreams, and until we meet again,